Hello, 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 hello. I'm right. We'll be starting in just a few moments. We're getting everything set here. If you're listening to this in replay, you can fast forward past this and get right into the episode. So welcome. Also, if you are new to Fireside, there's a few things you can do. You can react during the show. You can hit that react button that you see and choose an emoji and press send. It'll do that way. You can you'll also see a clap emoji and a laugh emoji and a party emoji across the bottom. You can hit those at any time and we will hear that, so that'll be good. And also remember to share this to your friends, share this to the world, share it with people you don't like, because we'd like to see them and you. Again, the show will be starting in just a few moments. It's no secret. Hey, Jill,
hey,
you here?
Hey. This is I'm Right. And I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I am Anthony Cordova.
Shout out to Stefan. Woohoo!
What's up?
Stefan in the house with your fantastic show.
Yes, we were just in his show. It was wonderful as usual, and he always has like really great information.
Yes, he does.
It's amazing.
He presents the facts.
Yes, and I also like that he brought up that men can also get breast cancer.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
I did know that, but I know a lot of men don't know that they can, and they should check from time to time to make sure they don't have any lumps.
That's right.
And stuff like that.
That's right.
So that was good. That was great information. I love it. Cool. So
are you ready to get started?
Yeah, what's going on tonight with our show, Jill?
We are talking about making time for yourself. Me time. It's part of a segment.
Me time. I want some me time. Oh, look, we still have music. That shouldn't even be playing anymore.
Stand by your stance. So, what is me time to you?
Why'd you ask me that first?
Getting right in.
Well, you know what? When I get my me time, no one in the house likes it.
What does that mean?
One of the ways I get my me time is by playing the drums.
You're right.
Playing the drums in the basement, and I just bang on drums. I'm not a real.
Well, there was that one time I thought that you had turned into a drummer because it sounded like the actual song.
I mean, yeah, I can keep a beat. I can keep a beat.
You can
do a couple of things.
It's not that we don't like when you play your drums. It's
really?
it's the timing. Like for a while, whenever I would sit in our den to write, that's exactly when you decided to bang on the drums.
I
And
didn't.
who can concentrate on writing
I didn't
when
know.
drums are beating
I didn't
right
know.
below
I
you?
didn't know you were in the den trying to write. I was in the basement.
Well,
I
that's a
was I was in the basement before you decided to write.
yes, but you went
You
to the
know,
basement to do something else, and you just get distracted by seeing your drums. You're
see
like,
you
"Oh, there are drums there. I
see
should play."
drums, see drums,
Play
play
drums.
drums. Yes, that's how it works. But I don't do that as much as usual. Other me
You
time.
should now because I haven't been writing.
Other me time is when I create my art.
Yes.
So
Oh,
when
you
I'm
really get a zone then.
creating furniture, or if I'm creating a sculpture, and doing all of that, that's another time I have me time. But guess what? I haven't done that in like 2 years.
That's sad.
So
That's a
I'm
sad
not I'm
statement.
not I'm not getting much me time. Other me time is I like to go fishing.
Yes,
I haven't gone fishing in years.
that is
So
true.
I'm not getting that me time in.
So, how does one establish me time when they're in a relationship?
Well, I do believe um a person really should make time for it, because you should, but really I've put other things that we're doing in that spot. So I'm the type of person that always needs to be doing something.
You are.
Um, so even when we're working on our podcast or developing a new show, that can be very enjoyable, but it's not.
It's definitely not
It's
me
not
time.
like me time. But I believe that you and I both are doing good work. So
We are, but we
um,
do need to. I really believe everyone should make time for me time.
yeah,
And hopefully, the people around you, where it matters how you're spending your time, hopefully they understand that that you need that space and that time for
yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
But on the other hand, there are people who don't want to be by themselves.
Yes, yes. But I just thought about something. So I'm saying, oh, I didn't put up our other thing tonight.
And I noticed that. But oh
Anyway,
well.
yeah. So if you hear a room echo, it's because that's why. Anyway, but I do manage to get in some me time. So when I come home from work, if I, you know, turn on the music and light some incense, that's kind of me time for me. Even though it's short lived, but it still gives me a chance to relax, and even if I'm going to make something for dinner or something, just being in that space, listening to the music, stuff. It's kind of me time. Doesn't last that long, but
No,
it's
because
me
soon I'll
time.
be like, hey,
Yeah.
we
So
need to do this and we need to do that. Let's go do this.
no, you don't usually do that.
That's true.
You,
I'm not that mate.
yeah, you don't. You don't. You don't. You don't.
Hi, Dave and Sam.
Hey, Dave and Sam, how you doing? And everyone that's listening, remember to check out their
That's
show.
right. How was your day?
How was your day? How was your day,
How
Jill?
was your day?
My day was not that bad.
My day sucked, but that's
Most of the
okay.
time it's worse, but today I didn't feel like I was gonna drop dead after work. So
Oh,
that was good.
well, that's
Yeah,
progress.
that is
Oh
progress.
my.
So yeah, that's how my day was. So back to
Yes, me time.
me time. Me time for you. How do you get me time, Jill?
Well, I don't get much of it, and I feel that. But I have learned throughout my adulthood that when I decide, that's one reason why I always liked walking, because it's just me out there in nature, or
Hmm.
sidewalk or the road or wherever I'm walking,
Yeah.
and my music, and in fact, that's usually when I got my most creative ideas
Okay.
was from walking. But as you know, I haven't walked
in quite a
in
while.
quite a while. Um, and then there are things that just make me afraid to do so at certain times.
Yeah,
Um,
that's understandable.
so so now, I would say over the last 2 or 3 weeks, when I exercise, like do one of my exercise videos or yoga or
Hmm.
something, that's me time. Like I'm totally in the zone and I'm
Oh,
totally, and I feel great afterwards and I really enjoy that. And then just as we discussed last week, although I hesitate to bring this up, but reading is part of my me time too. I know there's some
that's
non-readers out there, but I'm not going to talk about you tonight. Talking
yeah.
about my me time.
Okay,
So,
that's right. That's right.
and
S-
and one thing I would like to get back to in regard to me time is the time I spend playing my keyboard
yeah.
because that was relaxing to me and enjoyable and just like you get in a zone when you're creating sculptures and furniture and stuff
Hmm.
like that. I it's funny when I first started taking piano lessons when I was 5, my mother would, "Oh, you have to practice for an hour," and, every minute I would, "Is it an hour yet? Is it an hour yet? Is it an hour yet?" Until the longer I stuck with the piano,
Hmm.
the more she didn't have to say that,
Yeah,
at
because you
all, and,
grew
like,
to love it.
yes, and then the older
Hmm.
I got, the more it became, um, relaxing for
Okay.
me. So, I would like to get back to that as well.
Okay. Well, Jill, we've talked about me time for you, me time for me, but why do we have to have me time at all? What's the importance of having me time? Why can't we just hang with friends or hang with family? Why do we have to have like me time?
Well, you still should hang with friends and family, but we have also often talked about how you have to learn to love yourself to be around others, to be your best self around others. And how are
Hmm.
you going to love yourself if you don't even spend time with yourself? Like, to get to know who you are and what you want and to just woosah.
Well, well, yes,
I can't be around people
I
24/7. I
do
really
I
can't.
do understand that, but I'm sure there's quite a large segment of people that aren't able, even if they have the time, they're not able to do that me time. They're not able, well, let's put it this way. They really don't want to. It makes them feel uncomfortable to just be on their own, just by themselves on their own doing something they like. Like, for instance, I know people that don't do me time at all, ever, 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 because it doesn't make them feel comfortable. It makes them
They're
feel,
uncomfortable being by themselves?
yes.
Why is that?
Well, because they haven't figured out who they are. This is what I'm going to guess. They haven't figured out who they are. So they
Uh,
need people around them to fill that space.
I understand. I've had people tell me that the reason they don't want to spend time with themselves is because that's when the demons come.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yes, I've heard people say that too. And, some people have a real hard time being alone with their own thoughts. And I've had people tell me this. They say, "Oh no, I can't be by myself. I can't." Well, why not? He said, "Well, I start thinking of my life and what I've done or what I haven't done or the things I've done wrong or that I should be more successful than what I am. But if I keep my life busy, I don't I don't have to think about that." That's what that's their thought
People,
process.
many people, their worst critic is themselves.
Well, and I
You
see
know.
Tammy's there.
Hi,
Hi,
Tammy,
Tammy.
and we also
Yeah.
have a message from Dave and Sam. It says a real life in real life situation keeping our show from going on tonight. Oh, I hope everything's
Oh,
okay.
sorry to hear
But
that.
back next week and always here to support you guys. Thank
Oh,
you. Thank you.
cool.
But I hope
Well,
everything's
good.
okay with you all.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I hope all is well. Well, ends up well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And hi, Tammy.
But thanks for showing up for a
Yes,
bit.
thank
We
you. We
appreciate
appreciate that. We do.
And we love
We
you
love
too.
you all.
Yes. All right. So where were we?
We're talking about people who can't spend time by themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is what I think. But I'm not a person that has a problem being by myself. I spend most of my time in the jobs I've had and everything else with just businesses I've had by myself.
You prefer that?
Yes.
I prefer it too, but I'm not in that kind of job.
But I think that some people really do fear themselves. They fear their own minds. Because instead of thinking the best and propping themselves up, because we have to do that. We have to be able to prop ourselves up. We have to be able.
We can't rely on other people to validate us.
Right. We need to be able to speak positive about ourselves to ourselves. I mean, seriously. A lot of people will play out in their mind of all the things that have gone wrong in their lives
or even that day.
Or that day, instead of thinking about all the things that have gone good. Well, what?
Go ahead.
No, you go
ahead.
Well,
instead of good. Sorry.
I figured that's what you was gonna. I figured that's what you were gonna say.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
I figured it. This is what happens when you marry an English professor.
Former English professor.
Doesn't matter. It was your job. Yes, but no. We as people, we really shouldn't be so hard on ourselves.
That's true. Nor should we compare ourselves to others.
People. Yes.
You know, you and I have talked sometimes about, people placing themselves in competition with each of us. Well, we're not competing. We're not in a competition with you.
We don't compete against anybody.
We're not.
We just
we're
do
not
our
competing.
own thing. We're not thinking about anyone else.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's what. Yeah.
But I think that's why some people are afraid to be alone with their thoughts, because I think it's human nature to dwell on people who have done you wrong and things that have gone wrong.
Yeah.
I myself, I don't want to get into it now.
Okay.
But later.
Later.
When?
Later? Not later on tonight.
No, not tonight.
I'm trying to relax tonight.
Not tonight. But, there's been a situation where I blocked it out. Something horrible happened to me and I blocked it out, but then it manifested itself in my body those. And stressed me out and had me, I was having seizures and stuff because I kept it internal.
Yes.
And during that time, when I sought help, because of the seizures, I had no idea. I would not have put those two things together. But when it came to light that that's what was happening, and so I had to face it, I really, talked badly to myself.
Yeah.
And my therapist at the time said, I was managing people at the time. And she's like, how do you talk to your direct reports? And I said, most of the time I talk to them pretty well. Unless they just get on my last nerves, then I may not be as kind. She's like,
especially if you think your husband.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
I
knew you were going to say that.
Anyway,
I've never thought of you as my direct report or my flunky.
That's for another episode.
Yes,
we'll discuss that another time.
Yes, but anyway, she told me to speak to myself the same way I would speak to others,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know, and be kind to myself. And she was
Mm-hmm.
totally right. You
Oh,
know, so I think it's human nature not to give ourselves that same kindness, not to give ourselves that same grace. So one of the things that I started doing was meditating, where I'm just, instead of thinking about the past, because that's where I was stuck,
mm-hmm.
um, and that's what was affecting me in the present, I started meditating about the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
And, and then I became full of gratitude because I'm grateful for the present moment,
Mm-hmm.
you know, moments, I'm grateful for the now. I really am.
Yeah.
And so that helped me immensely,
So did that help you create me time or
Well, well,
more positive me
more
time?
positive me time because, I grew up as an only child. I was never that kid who wanted a baby brother or
Yeah,
sister.
you were me, me,
I
me,
was
me,
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 yes. So I've been about me
me, me,
time
me,
my
me, me,
entire life.
me, 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 me,
Well,
me.
everyone treated me like I was the only one. So, I was the oldest grandchild, and then I became the only granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter, like I always say, you can't spoil yourself. So anyway, I've
Sure you
always,
can.
no, not really.
Sure you can.
Not really. But anyway,
Sure you can.
if other people choose to spoil you, that's on them. So anyway, I've always, I think, have been really good at me time. I was never the kid that said I was bored.
Mm-hmm.
I always found things. Well, I've loved books ever since I could read. So,
Well, let me ask you
and
another question.
music.
Let me ask you another question. Is me time the same as alone time?
It doesn't have to be. If you find the most joy in just doing an activity that, let's say, a team sport or tennis, or if that's your me time, but it requires another person, then you're not alone, but that's time you've set out for you. So
For
to
something
me,
that's
yeah,
enjoyable
so to
to
me, that's
you.
how I define me time. It doesn't
So,
necessarily mean you're just by yourself and locked in a room somewhere. It just
okay.
it just means that you're taking time to do something that you find joy in and peace, and it brings you that zen.
So is one any better than the other? One person, their me time maybe is just sitting in the yard reading a book by themselves, and then the other person's me time,
Not a
like
not a
you.
group reading.
No, not a group reading. Just they're there by themselves reading their book. They're enjoying their book. They're enjoying the outdoors and all of that. But
Hmm.
then there's the other person. Like you're saying, their me time may be um, a sport that they get together with friends. But is that really me time?
Yes, because if, let's say that um you're surrounded by people all day, but they're people that have to be around you. Like maybe you have young children, and children will follow you everywhere, including the
Mm-hmm.
bathroom, right? So me time for you might just be getting in your car and driving down the street without,
Yeah,
with
but
someone
they're
keeping
alone.
your
You're
kids.
not going to do a team sport. Like your enjoyable
Or
thing
maybe
to
it's,
do is maybe you like bowling and you're on the bowling
right,
team.
right.
I can see that's me time, but is one better than the other?
I don't
Alone me time or me time in a sport, a group sport
I think if
that you.
it brings you joy, why should you, put a level on it? Like, why should you
Hmm.
compare?
So me time isn't particularly just being by yourself with your thoughts and somehow growing from that time,
Well, I
from
do
that
I
me
do encourage
time.
that. I mean, but sometimes people grow when they're around a certain person or certain people.
Sometimes and
More
sometimes
so than when
not.
they're by themselves. More so than
Sometimes
when they're by
and
themselves.
sometimes not. Let's say the person I'm talking about that likes to go do a group sport maybe the group sport is with people from their job. So is that
I don't
me?
like to
Is that
spend
me
all my time
time?
with people I work
But
with. I mean,
but
don't get me wrong.
but
I have
maybe,
I've made friends from working with people,
yeah,
right? And friends who are still in my life, and none of us work together now, right?
yeah, yeah.
But
But
I just can't be
I'm
around.
talking about the person that, every, Friday night or Thursday night they get the coworkers get together and they have, they go bowling. They have their little bowling team, and but they never do like anything else to, but that's their me time.
Well, I think in that situation, I think that gets into the difference between what's a friend, what's an acquaintance, and what's a coworker.
And what is me time?
Exactly. Where does that fit in there?
I have no idea. That wouldn't be me time to me.
Have you ever
But no,
spent
no, no.
have you
Wait,
ever
wait.
spent time outside of work with one of your coworkers? Ever in your entire career?
Well, I usually work for myself.
With the people who work at the same company? Nope. That's a nope.
Ow.
Whereas I'll go out on 4 and 5 hour
I don't
dinners
know.
with some of my friends, but they have to be
I
in the
don't.
friend category for me to do that.
I have made friends at different places I've contracted to or something
You
like that.
have?
Yeah,
When?
I have. Why are y'all laughing?
Because you say all the time you didn't have friends before Fireside. You say that all the time.
Well, when I say friends, I mean there's one business I had, and he had the same type of business, and we still talk on the phone from time to time.
Oh, okay.
So I mean,
One
what?
person. Okay.
Isn't that enough? Come on, come on. What you
Well,
got?
I think our audience should weigh in. What is me time to them, and do they get it? When's the last time any of you had me time? While we're waiting for people to respond, I hope people respond. Um, has anyone seen the movie? I think is
Me
it
time?
next?
Is it
Is
called
it
Me
Netflix?
Time?
Yeah, it's with Kevin Hart and Mark
Oh
Wahlberg.
yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Um, yeah, they have a totally different definition of me time to me
Well,
than
Me
I
Time
would
was
ever.
hanging with his friend that he grew up
But
with.
he didn't want to.
No, he didn't want to. No,
Because the
no.
friend always got him in these
In
wild
trouble,
adventures.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it all
No one
worked
wants
out.
to talk. No one wants to tell us
Everybody's quiet tonight. We're quiet
what
tonight
their
too.
what their definition of me time, or whether you even get it. It's really I have found that the older we get, the harder it is to have me time.
I don't think that's accurate.
It
Well,
is.
how old are you talking about? Older,
We're
starting from
old.
when?
We're
You
old.
said as you get older. No, I think it's as you get older, it's easier to have me time.
No, it's not. I had far more me time
Or when
five
you were
years ago.
single.
No, since I've been married to you, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, we had far more me time back then,
we had together time. That's what we had. We had us time. You know.
and we had me time too. I went to
We,
like Dominican Republic. You remember? Hi,
I remember
Stefan.
you left me.
Hi, how's it going?
All right, how's it
All is
going?
going well.
Good. Thanks for having me on here.
Of
Thanks for
course.
coming up.
That's the usual response we give to everyone.
Oh, wait a
We
minute.
really enjoy having you. You know that.
I am so happy that you are on our stage. I'm ecstatic.
You're pushing
Woohoo!
it now.
I was gonna say now he's acting.
Oh,
So do you get
but
me time? What's me time to you?
so
Wait.
my
Let me
me
guess.
time is
Video games.
That's a good one.
video games?
I haven't not been playing recently. Just schedules, and I primarily my me time right now is sleep. Um, that's my only me time, and then like on my days off when I can go for my walk for my coffee, that's my me time.
Oh, that's
That's
excellent. Yes.
all me.
Yeah.
Because I can control it. So I'll go to Starbucks and grab a coffee. And then, like, before I get to my apartment, there's a pool in the middle. So I'll sit outside of the pool and I'll just sit there and just talk to myself about either what I want to do for fireside or what I'm doing at work. And it's just like, that's my me time.
Oh, that's wonderful. And
That's
how far away is your I know you said it in your show, but maybe people in our audience don't realize how close your coffee place is, your
So my
Starbucks.
coffee place is about a mile and a half
One way?
from um, both ways. So by the time
oh,
I do
that's
the
not
entire
bad.
trip, it's about a mile and a half.
Oh,
Huh.
that's
Um,
wonderful.
so
And
it's
then to
nice.
sit by the
So
pool too, that sounds lovely.
mhm. It's you sit by the pool, drink my coffee, and I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do today. This is what I can't accomplish today because I'm not going to do it. Or thinking about like what I want to do with fireside. But it like that is my me time because I can control it. I can either, if it gets too hot outside, I can come inside and then be like, all right, I'm going back out to the pool. That's what I do.
Oh, that's
That's
excellent.
pretty
And so while
cool.
you're sitting by the pool or even on your walk to and from, do people
I'm
bother
not
you?
reading.
I wasn't going to go there. But do people bother you?
No, no. My walks are usually around like 8 or 9 in the morning. So this is before most people in my complex wake up. And no one's at the pool this early. So I can usually like sit on the lounger and just have my coffee in peace.
That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
that's pretty
Excellent.
cool. That's pretty cool.
That's
It
yes.
reminded me of something I used to do. I just remembered.
What did you used to do?
Every Sunday morning, I used to get on my bike and ride to the mountain, or
Yes,
to
Kennesaw Mountain.
Kennesaw Mountain. And it's about what I think it's 8.5 miles away. And I
Hmm.
would go there. And once I got there, I would pull out my book and I would stay there and I would read for maybe 45 minutes or an hour. And then I would ride back home. And I enjoyed that immensely,
That's excellent.
immensely. So I understand, you
Yeah,
just get out, get away, and just, me
that's
time
wonderful. And
is
you
good.
you
Yeah.
made a good point, Stefan, by saying it's something you can control. So that's a
Hmm
key point to me
Yes.
time.
And it doesn't cost you anything. You don't
Well, the
have
coffee
to.
does.
I mean, the coffee's like a dollar, like 50, but
He's not. He's
I'll
not
pay. I'll
buying.
pay the dollar fifty
He's
to
buying
have some time to
He's
Starbucks.
not
myself.
buying Starbucks. No. Uh-uh.
Well, because I have like where I live, I have Starbucks, and then literally right across the street, like a small little street, it's the gas station. So like I can choose: do I want to be bougie or do I want to be broke? Like, and so I'm like, let's be broke today and get a dollar 50 coffee.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Cool.
great.
Me time.
I love that. I love that.
Me
That makes
time.
me
Me
want to
time.
start walking again. It does.
Does anyone else in the audience do something
Oh,
for me time?
we have some newcomers to our audience. We have Gina and Stacy in the audience as well. So
Gina
welcome
and
to both of you.
welcome, Gina and Stacy. I don't think I've met either one of you. Huh.
So
I wonder if
Gina
Gina
and
and
Stacy, we're
Stacy.
talking about people's definitions of me time and how they spend it. So if you just heard Stefan, he takes a walk and sits by the pool and thinks about his show on Fireside. Just great.
Or maybe Gina or Stacy, maybe they believe that me time may be overrated. Me time overrated. Why do you need me time?
Does any
Why? Well,
with
I
the
don't know.
applause, does anyone think me time is overrated?
Hmm.
That reminds me of
Nobody
you
knew
trying to
it.
tell me when we first met that vacations were overrated.
I definitely did say that. But you know what? That was back when there was two things going on. One, I was kind of a workaholic.
Kind of.
Yes,
You either
kind
are or you
of.
aren't.
No, that's not. I was kind of. And the other reason is because I had been alone for a while. I hadn't been in a relationship in some time. So I was going on vacations by myself.
Some people might view that as me time.
It was really boring. It was really my
That sounds
vacations.
like it's on you.
My vacations were really boring, but I wasn't, I would go to places I like. I go to the beach and I would bring my bike and I ride my bike all over. But I took some video on the last one and I came back home and I played the video and it just looked boring and sad. I'm just
It's very sad.
see. So it looked boring and sad. I said, heck with vacations. I'll just work and enjoy the other stuff I do. I'll go fishing and whatever. But I didn't need to go on vacation. I was waiting to meet you, Jill,
I don't think
so
that's the reason,
we
but
could go on
okay.
vacation together. Well, yeah, I mean, I've only been on vacation once or twice without you. And that was a fishing trip.
hmm
And we don't bring you
we
fishing.
don't, and Jill does not
No,
want to
Jill
go
does
fishing.
not go fishing.
No,
When
not.
Jill came with me like one time, and she pulled out a book. I was like, "There's no reading in the fishing boat.
But
You can
but
catch
you
some
said that
fish.
you're gonna
You
be
to catch
quiet and all that. So I'm like, okay, well, if we can't talk, I'll read.
no fish. Catch some fish.
Mm.
Feed us.
Oh, I didn't see the
Feed
point,
us.
especially since when you fish, you put the fish back in the water. I don't see the point.
I don't always throw them back. If I don't feel like cleaning fish, I put them back.
But don't you know that before you go?
Sometimes. Well, sometimes I wait, because, the boat has a live well. So I'll catch them and I'll put them in the live well. And then if I catch like, let's say 10, 12, then I'll probably keep them and take them home and clean them and we have fish to eat. But if I only catch two, I don't want to make all that mess with just two fish. And then I'll throw those back. And I throw bass back. I throw bass. If I'm bass fishing, I throw those back.
Don't see the point. Like to me,
Fun to
can't you
catch
just go
fish.
out on the boat and just chill?
But we have done that. We have, when we're at the
I
lake.
like speed on my
Yeah,
boats.
but yes, you
Like, let's
do.
go
But
speed
but
boat.
we have done that. And if we just go out to ride around the lake and all that, that's fine. But we're not fishing, so I'm cool with that. You can read a book, then I don't care.
Well, then I'm not reading a book because I'm excited because we're going fast.
But when I stop somewhere,
Yeah.
just just sit still, enjoy nature. Anyway, things that I haven't done in a long time.
So when are you gonna? As you would say, what are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna get some me time. Let's go to the mountains this weekend.
No, the me time you can do by yourself.
I'm not going to the mountains without you.
You could go there all by
You
yourself.
said that people can have me time while they're with other people,
Yes,
if that's
but
what they
if
enjoy.
any of our audience remembers when Chris and Mia were on our show, they live in the mountains, and we had a hard time with their signal that night, but they did appear,
hmm
and maybe we didn't really talk about it that night, but Chris often posts pictures of bears and snakes that he's like close up on,
It's the
you know.
mountains.
So why would I want to go there? Why?
We have snakes and stuff
I'm not
here.
outside taking pictures of them.
That's why you don't see. That's why you don't see them. Actually, when Jill and I were dating,
Oh,
she didn't live here at that
I didn't live
time,
here. I had my own house.
but I had a problem with crickets. crickets were everywhere, and they were getting in the house and getting in the walls. And crickets are fine when they're outside and you hear them. Oh, doesn't that sound nice? They're little crickets. But when one gets in the wall of your house, they're awful because you can't find them. And then one day the crickets stopped. And the reason they stopped is because I had a snake here. And the snake used to sit on the front step.
The front step.
So I
right
knew
in front of the door.
when the
front step,
when
like
the-
laid out, sunning itself.
But
the
when-
front step.
Yeah, but when the snake was here, there were no crickets. He ate
And
all
neither
the
was
crickets.
Jill.
And Jill made me get rid of my wild.
Would
pet
you come
snake.
into our house if you had to step over the snake to get into the door? No. Who would do that?
We had a symbiotic relationship. We did.
Well,
Symbiotic
if you wanted me to
relationship.
come to your house, you had to get rid of the
Yeah,
snake.
you made me get rid of the snake. I didn't kill it though,
No, you didn't kill it.
but
But I was going to give you a hoe so you could kill it.
I said, get the hoe.
Get a
the hoe. Hoe. Where's your
I am,
hoe?
I am from Kentucky, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can go to the mountains. I don't have a problem with that. You go to the mountains, I'll stay here and read or
No.
play my keyboard.
You're coming with me
No, that doesn't have to be that way.
maybe this weekend.
No.
You don't shoot a snake with a shotgun?
No, it wasn't a poisonous snake.
It was a.
It was just a green snake. It was only
But
about.
see, I never ask a snake if it's poisonous or
it
not.
was only about maybe 2.5 feet long, and it would just hang out on the,
Audience, you
in the
have to
front step.
understand. I grew up in a national park where it was illegal to kill snakes, but the snakes that we all knew about and saw were rattlesnakes and copperheads, which are both poisonous. So no, I do not have a good relationship with snakes because I knew people who got bit.
Yeah, but this was not a poisonous snake.
I didn't care.
Yeah, I know you didn't care. Yeah, made me get rid of him. I was my only friend at the time.
Oh,
You made me. I told. the
we need to
snake
do an
this-
episode about
I
Tony
said-
and
I
friends.
said,
Aw.
I was like, Jill's making me make you leave. So I just grabbed its tail and it left. It didn't feel safe anymore.
And then he made my dog his dog. My dog stopped thinking I was
That's
his
got
owner.
nothing to do with the story.
That's that. I think it
It's got
does
nothing to
actually.
do
I
with
think
the
that was
story.
your way to get back at me.
No, I wouldn't get back at you, Jill. I love you.
You do love me,
Why would I
but you
get
did
back
tell my
at
dog
you?
that she was going to become yours, and she did
She wanted to be my dog.
after she slapped you.
It was that kind of relationship. So, that's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes. All right. Anybody? No one? Stefan, do you have more you want to say about me time?
No. But I will comment on the fact that I do not like going places by myself. That is something I've realized now that I get older. I just recently started going to dinner by myself. I wasn't doing that. But now like I can go to like IHOP and have a meal by myself. But like if I want to go to like the mall or movies, or like a theme park and no one wants to go with me, I'm like, oh, guess I'm not doing anything today.
And why do you think that is?
Because like if my thought process is okay, if I tell a joke, who's going to laugh at? Who's going to laugh at it? It's
You
just
don't
me.
laugh
Like
at it.
I don't
Hey.
want to. I don't want to just laugh at it myself, and people are like, "What the hell is this kid laughing
I
at?"
have watched your show many times.
You crack yourself up. You do.
You don't need an audience for you to laugh. You can, because you say you don't look at the people in the audience. So I mean, you just crack yourself up all the time.
But you are funny.
Sometimes I am.
Like
Yeah,
I'm laughing
I
too.
am
You
pretty
are funny.
So like I'm like, okay, if I go to a theme park and I'm like, if I say, oh, look at that person because they're doing something funny, it's only me. Like I can't, so I don't go to places by myself.
I understand that though. This past weekend, I had to go out of town by myself, and I and it was for a funeral, so I was, I was already emotional about things. And so after the funeral was over, I had a choice. I could either, hang with the family and drink all night, or, go back to my hotel. And I chose normally I would choose, to hang with my friends and drink, but I was exhausted from traveling. And so I went back to the hotel, but I ended up um,
Hanging out at the
hanging
bar.
out at the bar. And I did. And people like I met all sorts of people at the bar.
That's what happens when you
Is that
hang
what
out at
happens?
a bar.
It had been
Yes.
so long that I had forgotten that, people will talk to you if you're just sitting at a bar. But I had all sorts of, my little journalism mind was in motion. And so I was asking people a lot of questions and stuff. So people were giving me, like they didn't know anything about me. I don't even think I said my name, but, they were giving me their cards, and, the bartender was making special drinks for me. And, it turned
Wow.
out into a really good evening. And then I came and called you, and you were like, go to bed. Go to bed.
She was just like, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm like, oh, go ahead. Shoot, it's time to sleep.
So
Ooh.
I'm like you, Stefan. Like I really dreaded making the trip, not only for the occasion, but I really dreaded going by myself because, he and I are together often, almost
Are you
everywhere.
tired of me now?
No, I'm just saying that it was odd that you weren't there.
No, 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 I understand because we do go most places together. Well, if it's out of town, most
Yeah,
places. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
So I
okay.
had quite the adventures, but I'm done with the adventures for now. I hope.
We're going to the mountains this
No,
weekend.
we are not.
Yarr.
We are not.
We're going to the
We're
Are
mountains.
there
not.
The
mountains in
colors,
Georgia?
yes, yes, we have a lot of mountains. Yeah, a lot of mountains. North Georgia,
North Georgia, yeah.
Okay, because you're up by what is that? Tennessee?
Tennessee. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
North Georgia, a lot of mountains up here. Like we live at like the base of where the mountain range starts. So we have small mountains. It's not like Colorado or
Mm.
anything
Right,
like that.
right. Yeah.
I think
Baby
that
mountains.
yeah, baby mountains. I think the tallest one is like, well, I don't know, little over 2,000 feet elevations. But
Mm.
I actually go up to the mountains every day. And
For
do
your
you know
job.
which? Yes, for my job. But you know who's the biggest tourist up in the mountains?
Who?
Floridians.
I was gonna let
Who?
him guess.
Oh, sorry.
Just
Would you have guessed
gonna
No,
that?
let him guess.
no.
Yes, most people. Yes, Florida. That's the tags I see mostly. Florida. They like to go to the
Well, people
mountains
tend to vacation
where
in
and
places where they
they
don't
don't have.
have.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a
Hmm.
lot of
Yeah, we
Florida
don't have
people.
mountains out here. We have water. We'll give you all the
Yeah.
water we got, but
Yeah.
Yep. And see, I'm a water creature, so I would that's where I would head.
Yeah. Me too.
Yep.
But
And
Stefan.
and growing up,
Stefan lives inland.
yeah, but he's still closer to the
But we're
water than we
still we're
are.
still gonna visit you when we come down that way. Actually,
yeah,
I
my
was.
pool is like right here. I got the closest water I need.
But we are going to visit you next time we come down there.
Yeah,
We'll go out to dinner or
that would be
something.
fun. That would
Yeah.
be fun.
Would definitely be fun.
Yep. And just
Yeah.
like, growing up in a national park with caves, I could take or leave caves.
Yeah, she
Not,
still hasn't brought
I
me.
still haven't brought you there. I could
What,
do the whole tour for you now, shall I?
Joe? If I'm not mistaken, that is the largest where you grew up. Is
The
the
largest
largest
cave
cave
system
system
in the
in the
world.
world,
Yes, it is.
and
Because
Wow.
it's
she
all
hasn't
connected,
and she hasn't taken me into the caves yet.
I can do the tour for you right now, and you can just
You can't
imagine.
do it right
You
now.
know, I
You
can
can just
We
just
have to
imagine
go
what you would
there.
see. You know,
No.
like I'm a writer, so I could vividly describe what you're seeing.
You can walk into your closet as she tells you the story.
That's just not right. That's just not
pretend
right.
your clothes are like the cliffs, and she's like, "Oh, just feel right here."
That is just not right. Stefan walked me into the closet. Hey, you're in the cave. Yeah. That is just not right. That is just not right. It's not right. Yeah, you're in the cave. Don't you feel the coolness? It's always, what is it, 68 degrees all the time in the cave?
58.
It's 58 degrees. You'll probably give me a fan in the closet.
Watch out! There might be a bat that might drop something in your head, but it's a shoe.
That's right. That's right. That's y'all like right. Ooh, boy. Gee. Y'all are rough.
All right.
Wow.
Well, next time we go to Kentucky, you could go into the cave.
Yeah. I like that.
That'll be your me time because I'll be
No.
waiting for you when you come
No.
out. I've been on that
You've been
tour
telling-
so much.
You've been telling me for years how you can give me the tour.
I can. Although
How
maybe
can
it's
we go there
57
and-
degrees that it's always. I can't remember. My mother could tell you. She was once the director of communications for that part.
Mm-hmm.
She could tell you.
I'm sure she could. Is she gonna walk me through the cave?
She probably would. She probably would. Be like, come on, let's go. I'll be waiting for both of you. Come out.
That is not right. That is not
No,
right.
next time we go to Kentucky, I'll take you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I don't know when that'll be, but
This
You know.
weekend.
no.
This weekend.
Trying to make
I don't
things
know
I'm
what
trying to
is
make
wrong
some
with you.
things
Don't you
happen.
have a show or something this weekend?
Oh yeah. You got out of that one, Jill. I do have a show this weekend. Okay.
You can always just postpone it so you can go to the caves.
I'll have to wait till another time. That's okay. That's okay. Though we did go to the cave up there at Lookout Mountain,
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. That was beautiful.
It was.
Yeah, they have the largest underground waterfall.
Underground. Yep.
And probably that's probably in
Which
the,
I
in the
clearly
world
blocked
also.
out because when I saw someone else post a picture like recently, like last week of it, I'm like, did we see that when we went there?
Yes, we did. It was beautiful. Yeah. It was really because they light it up and put all these
Yeah.
colors
Oh.
in and everything.
Oh, since you said that, now I remember. I remember it now. There is one part of Mammoth Cave that's in a different town. It's in Horse Cave, which is 2 towns over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Hidden River Cave that was always closed when I lived in the park.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go to that cave because I've never been in it. It was never open when I was growing
Is it
up in
open
there.
now?
It is open.
Can you do it in a boat?
No, but there was one time that, like a lot of school groups go in. You just look at the water. School groups go there a lot to Mammoth Cave. But there was rain that day. It was a rainy day.
Inside the cave?
It was a rainy day.
Inside the cave?
And somehow or another the river flooded and they had to rescue them.
Oh.
So I'm like, maybe not. But you could also zip line in that cave.
Okay.
So that would be an interest. I would go in that
So the
cave
key to that story is don't go
when
on
it's
a rainy
raining.
day.
That's correct.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll remember
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Or like we could have a boat.
You can't put a boat in there. No.
It's water. Boats float in water.
How are you going to get the boat in the cave?
Carry it.
I think it's like narrow.
A
Like,
canoe.
oh my goodness.
Carry a canoe. Or
I don't
we
think
might
that-
have to pump it up.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't think the Rangers are going to let you do that.
You gotta learn to be a rule breaker.
Ugh. You keep bringing that up, like all the times that you've been a rule breaker. That's funny that we ended up together because I'm not a rule breaker.
No, this is
Not on
This
purpose.
is why I'm like the only parent that tells their good kids, Y'all need to take a
Yep,
walk
you
on the
do.
wild side.
You do.
Yeah, do. Hey. Especially the good kids, they need to do something wild, just once or twice in their life. But they usually get caught.
Yeah, because
The
they don't
good
know
kids,
how to do
yeah, the
it
good
and
kids.
not get caught.
Yeah, like you'd get caught. Jill, don't steal anything. You will get caught. You will get caught.
Hi, Frankie. Welcome to the stage.
Hey, is that Frankie J?
It is Frankie J.
Yeah,
Anthony.
Frankie J.
Welcome.
Welcome. He is also one of our fireside creators.
How are you?
Yeah. Well, I'm great, and I wanted to thank you both for your support. I noticed that you guys check in on my show, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's again, I always stress, and I'm certain you remember, I'm not in competition. I'm in a community.
That's
Right.
right.
That's right.
That's what we say also. We said it
Earlier tonight.
right in this
Yep.
show. So we are thinking alike.
Yep. Well, they say great minds think alike, and usually it's of the male species. So, I'm just
wait. What? I don't think I heard that correctly.
I heard that, Frankie J.
I'm right.
I didn't hear that.
I'm right.
I heard it. He said that males are better than females.
No,
I don't think that's what Frankie said. That is not what you said.
No. Actually, true story. All jokes aside, when I was in college, I was studying criminal justice psychology, and I was asked one time by one of my criminal justice instructors, who was a cop and a lawyer and professor at the same time, and he asked me, "What would you rather have, a woman partner or a man partner as a police officer?" And I very swiftly said, without hesitation, I would rather have a woman partner. And everybody laughed. And I'm like, well, I don't understand why it's so funny. And he asked me, elaborate. And I said, well, if you go into certain situations, women are way better and more level-headed at handling certain said situations than that of a man. And when you have a male and a female partnership, if you keep all the nonsense out of it, if you know what I'm saying, it can be way more effective than that of two males that are all pumped up with testosterone and ready to tackle people. I believe that women have a role and they are equal to men. That's my serious talk for today. I'm all about women equality. And I'm not just saying that to kiss booty. I'm just telling you how I feel. And, I worked up until July 2020, before I went out of work because of my disability. I worked at a highway department for 19 years, and it was all males for the most part. I mean, it wasn't a sexy job. You had 140 guys that all thought they were the best, and you had to stick up for yourself or get beat up. Well, in the last 5 or 6 years, they started hiring women as motor equipment operators, drivers, and it was amazing. I mean, this one girl came in and she was beautiful. She could have been a model, and she's working at a highway department wearing boots and jeans and getting dirty, doing drainage work, and nobody wanted to work with her. And they said, Frankie, can you go work with her? I'm like, absolutely. And her and I got so much work done. She had a great story. I had a great story, and we were a good team. So I'm a firm believer that women are equal to that of men. And
thank you. I'll applaud that. Audience, y'all should applaud too.
And I actually think that women are smarter than men. I can't help it. I do. I just, in general, think women are.
So you're saying I'm smarter than you?
Oh, you are definitely smarter than me.
Well, I can say this.
Most definitely. You are definitely smarter than me, Jill.
I've taken lots of knocks to the head playing hockey and contact sports, taking slap shots from pucks to the head, breaking helmets, that kind of thing. I've had probably 30 concussions in my life.
Wow.
And I went as far as my depression and stuff was so bad a couple summers ago, I went ahead and did electric shock therapy 20 times.
Wow.
It's called ECT treatment. It's nothing like the Jack Nicholson movie. It's very scientific. It's very, very, actually, psychiatrists are very, very keen on it because it eliminates medication. In any event,
Yeah.
you lose memory in some cases, which I did. And I took it upon myself to take an official national IQ test, and I scored a 120.
Ooh.
Oh, all right. But here's a question. Here's a question, real quick question, Frankie J.
Sure.
How many women were playing hockey with you?
Good question. We had one girl who played on our team. She was amazing. She played either goalie or she played out, and she would skate circles around half of us.
Right. And how many concussions did she get?
None.
There you go. Who's smarter? Who is smarter? She gets no concussions. She's the only woman on the team, and she has no concussions, and she skates rings around everyone.
Yeah, she was really good.
One. Yes.
Yeah, and she was almost 50 years old too at the time.
I was 50 years
wow.
old. You see,
and she still plays.
Yeah, but she's the smart. She knows how to play and not get concussions and everything.
Well, sure, but I'm smart. I know how to draw penalties because I get in the front of the net where all the dirty stuff happens.
Yeah, and then you get a concussion.
Well, yeah, but
see,
it's
well,
a good
I've had
story.
more concussions than you.
I mean, I've had my teeth punched out.
Jill.
See, you're not. That doesn't add up, sweetheart.
But I see my friend Stacy's in the audience. I just want to say
hi,
Stacy. It's good to see you again.
I wanted to really thank both of you for your support. I see that you guys are participants and rewatch my show, and I appreciate it. I'm doing my best every day to really get better at what I'm doing. I'm trying to really, polish the edges and find my niche. You know how it is to but I appreciate the support.
Yeah,
but while you're on the
very consistent.
Yes, you are. And while you're on the stage, Frankie J, I'm sure everyone here is aware of your show, but go ahead and remind everyone what the name of your show is and when it's on.
Oh, well, thank you. I didn't come on for a plug, but I do appreciate that. My show is called Frankie J Raw, and that's with 2 W's, and that stands for Ready, Able, Willing, Whenever, to talk about any topic, anytime. And what it is I typically try to have a guest that has a great story or a great background, and we do 45 minutes of just very casual, unscripted conversation / interview. And my last show, which was yesterday at noontime Eastern time on Tuesdays, I had Monica Morton of Strong Boss Bitches here on Fireside as a guest, and we talked Kanye West. And her and I disagreed on a few different things, but what was really great about it is that we had enough respect for each other to agree to disagree. And, that's the kind of conversations I like to have. I don't like controversy. I like conversation. And I, with my history and my story, of growing up and of pure survival is what I call it, it makes for a great show. And I've been battling for like 2 years to figure out what the hell should I be friggin' doing? Like, I don't understand. I got a studio, I got a mic, I got this. What am I supposed to be doing here? And someone told me that I was raw, and I'm like, okay. And I added a W to it, and I'm like, all right, perfect. So yeah, my shows are Frankie J Raw every Tuesday, 12 noon Eastern time, right here on Fireside. And once in a while, I'll do an impromptu show, like Friday night at 8 p.m. I'm going to do a unscripted show with Mojo on here. I'm certain you know who Mojo is by now. Yeah. And it's going to be fun. Him and I have hooked up before and had a really good time. So really my goal on here, and I'm certain your goals are too, is just to put out really great content. And anybody that attends or is in the audience, they leave with a smile and they want to come back for more. And my goal is to do just that. I want everybody to love my show. I know that only a certain, I guess, group are going to like my style, but my goal when I put a show together or think of a show, I want everybody to love it.
Yeah. Cool.
That's wonderful.
I'm going to check out that replay tomorrow.
Yes, because I haven't heard the one you did with Monica yet. But I'm going
to that was listen. A really good one with the Kanye West. And I'm the huge mental health advocate, as you both know. and I was battling that. He has mental health issues, and she was saying, "Too bad, get your stuff together." So it was a really great, it didn't come to blows, but it was interesting.
I don't know. She might have hit you if she was in the same room with you.
Well, if I ever met her in person, I would run up to her and just hug her right away, so she couldn't start swinging. She's a sweet woman, and
Yes.
Her and I really get along great. And I believe, all jokes aside, that life right now, if everybody can just come together and just have conversations and just talk. I mean, spreading awareness is one thing, but spreading solutions is another. And I'm all about finding solutions and finding ways to combat these things that we're spreading awareness on. You can spread awareness all day. Everybody's aware. But what are we doing about it?
That's right.
What are we doing about it? And that's been my goal for a long time. And I feel Fireside's a great platform to do just that. And to have people like you who support me, it means a lot. It really does. And every time I see Cordova as one of my participants, I'm like, I finally got an opportunity to catch up with you guys. And I just wanted to come up live on your show. Thank you for your support, and thank you for the show you do. I think it's hilarious.
Well,
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Yeah,
thank you for
great.
that.
Yeah.
And I will not hijack your show. I will go ahead and
You didn't.
jump up. Well, I've had people try to hijack my show, and I'm like, whoa, this is not a movie.
Like
here,
him?
okay? No picking on each other. Not allowed. It's against the terms of service here on Fireside. But no, I enjoy doing what we all do here, and I really believe that there is light at the end of the tunnel with this platform. And if like you two are very consistent, I'm consistent, and if we all remain that way, we'll be rewarded at the end. And it's fun. Let's face it; it's finally a site where we can see each other, right? I'm in like going to bed mode, or otherwise I'd come on camera.
Me too.
I just had major back surgery 5 weeks ago, so
yeah.
I hope you're recovering well.
Oh, I'll tell you something. I live alone. They put 10 screws and I think 4 spacers in my spine. And I have a low profile bed. It's an IKEA. It sits 14 inches off the floor. Okay. And I have a memory foam mattress. Oh, when I sit in my bed, my knees are up above my pectoral muscles.
Oh boy.
Okay. But the best question is, did they give you good drugs?
Oh no, sweetheart. Let's not go
Did
there.
they give you good drugs?
At the hospital, they gave me, what was it, Dilaudid, Toradol or something like that, and Oxys all night long, and I felt really good. And then as soon as I got home and that IV wasn't in, I was like, oh boy, I should go back to the hospital. I can't. I woke up one morning with my head buried into my headboard. I don't know how I got in that position, and it took me a good hour to get out of that position and out of bed.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Oh yeah.
So
it was awful.
You may have had to call the paramedics
I couldn't even get to my phone.
Oh my goodness!
I was screaming for help. I was trying to get my neighbor. I was like, help, help. And I couldn't bang the wall.
Did someone come and help you?
No, I managed to, I had people, 2 of my friends that would come once a day to check on me, change my bandages, the dressings, and just make sure I was okay, get me food. I have a 4-pound Chihuahua that they took home with them because I couldn't reach down to put his leash on. And he had a blast. He had a yard. He loved it. And I had the support I needed. And it's nice to say I can get out of bed now without praying to the baby Jesus and having muscles that I never knew existed in the back of my legs. Mm-hmm. It was a challenge, but every time I would have a hard time getting out of bed, I would think of movies of, for example, the movie Men of Honor, Cuban Gooding Jr. when he was rehabbing from losing his leg.
Yeah,
I would think of things like that. Oh, I love that movie. Yeah. It's fantastic. It's got so many messages. I would think of those sort of things and be like, I can do this. Raw. I would just pump through it, and I made it and I got it done. So it needed to get done. My spine was real bad, and with having MS, little pains are big pains. It's just the way it is.
Right.
So I got through it. I survived it, and I'm starting to get back to my normal self and get back on camera. I took some time off, but no, I just wanted to, like I said, take a moment to thank both of you for what you do. Thank you for your support, most importantly.
Okay.
And I hope to, keep supporting you as long as you two stay on here and don't fight. It'd be pretty cool.
We don't fight. We disagree.
My second wife, I don't know where she is till this day, but I want to just tell her you were right, and can you sign here? But I hope she's doing well. But thanks again, you two. I enjoy your show. I think you're both hilarious. You're humble. You're obviously very, very loving to each other, and that's inspiring because you don't see that very often anymore.
Yeah,
but
appreciate it.
Thanks again, and I'll go ahead and jump off the stage and let you continue on with your show. Thank you.
Thank you,
And
Frankie J. We appreciate you. We really do. And we love you.
Love you. Yeah. We'll see you.
Go Buffalo Bills.
Oh, you had to put that in there. Okay.
Super Bowl.
All right, Jill. I think we went over again.
Well, it's okay.
Yeah,
Frankie J had a lot of great things to say and such a positive outlook. So it's okay. And I appreciate Frankie J that you came and said all of that. I really do. Thank you for that.
Yes. Thank you very much.
And also we wanted to thank Stacy and Gina and another Stacy. And Stefan, I wanted to let you give a plug for your show.
No. Like we're already at 9:08. It's
Don't say I didn't give you a chance.
For once, hey, listen, audience. You all don't know. Some of you might know, but this is history. This is the first time ever that Stefan was on my side. He said, no, it's time to close this out. The first time. I don't care. You can't take it back, Stefan. I'm accepting it. You are on my side.
Well,
tonight.
I'll say it for you. By that time, he could have said what his show is and what it's called.
I don't care. He was
called
on my
The Conversation.
Side tonight. He was on my
Stefan
side.
comes on every other Wednesday at 7:00 Eastern. So see, I still did it for you, Stefan. And thank you, Dave and Sam, too. We hope that everything's okay with you all, and we hope to see you next week. Reminder to everyone that next week, their show will be after hours, and it's called How Was Your Day?
That's what it is. I'm going to mark this. This is going to be my best night ever. Stefan was on my side.
Guess what? He won't remember this tomorrow.
I will remember this.
He's gonna text me and be like, yes.
You'll be at work.
Tell everyone about your show coming up on Saturday.
Yes, I have my own show, Poetic People Fighting Racism, PFR, is Saturday night at 9:00. I do it every other week. Eastern time,
PM.
yes. I said night. Every Saturday night.
Just let it
every Saturday night, Jill, is what I said.
It's not every Saturday night.
I said every other Saturday night is what I said.
Okay.
Look, anyway,
see, I'm confusing him. I'll just stop talking.
Anyway, please come. It's a safe place. Everybody loves each other. All is good. And I will do a poem and we'll discuss it. Or you can do a poem. Or you can do anything you wish created in any type of art form you have. And show or tell. Like show and tell. Remember show and tell? When you're in school? Yes. All right, we closing this out, Jill?
We're closing this out. I have nothing more to say. Thank you all for joining us. This has been I'm Right.
I'm Right.
And I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
And on the stage with us, our guest co-host is Stefan.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Stefan. And tonight, Stefan was on my side.
For a moment. He won't remember this tomorrow. He really
I
won't.
will remember this.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Love you all. We